Welcome, beautiful people, and how we all doing today? Do you have a dog that suffers from stress during fireworks, maybe thunder, lightning times? Would you like to know what to do, how to take care of this problem, how to train this out of your dog? Stay tuned, and I will show you how I deal with this problem. So first, let's go through what you need to know about what is stress. Okay, how do you identify stress in your dog? A lot of us do know we see our dogs go cower in a corner or go hide in their favorite spot or something like that. But do you actually know what to look for prior to that happening so that you can take control of your dog and put them in a better situation and help them cope a little bit? So today I'm going to show you how to not only deal with the situation, but how to identify the situation as well as train it out of them in the future. So the first thing that we need to know is how to identify stress in its early stages. And how we do this is we follow the dog's posture, okay? Our dog's going to show a posture prior to it going in hiding and prior to it going into its true state of stress that we can't control. So I'm going to help you guys identify that. And as you see, I have my chart here. And at the bottom, we have a little picture of a dog in stress. And so what we're going to do is the first thing that we want to pay attention to, one of the first obvious situations, is the tail gets tucked down. So it sometimes doesn't go underneath. You'll see it go tucked down between their legs. And if that's something that you also have a dog that it has a short tail or a cut tail, you'll notice that tail gets really, really tight to their butt. So that's one of the first things that we're looking for. And also, their ears go back. You'll see the back of the ears go back. Sometimes they even almost touch each other in the back of their necks. But you'll see their ears go back into an area that's a little further back than what is their normal position for the ears. So that's their ears going back. You'll notice their pupils dilate. That's something again. You got to really pay attention to that, but it is something to look for if you need to. And you'll also see that their body gets lowered and then they kind of sit back a little bit and they lower their shoulders down, their back arches down. You might even see a little concave back in their spinal part. So that's another thing to pay attention to. And the other thing too is they're gonna, sweating through their pads is something that after in time you'll see that their pads will get moist, but that's something you don't really need to pay too much attention to. And the rapid panting is another one that is very obvious right off the bat, is that they're gonna have a rapid panting. Their mouths, you're gonna see their mouth's gonna set back a little bit in the corner of their mouth. So that's how we identify stress. Now, the idea of how to help them and how to cope with this is we want them to get out of this stress behavior and move them into a relaxed behavior. And I'm going to show you how we're going to do this. Okay? So, one of the first things that we're going to do is be prepared. We know, we just got through 4th of July. We had fireworks going off all over the place. My neighborhood, there's fireworks every day for the whole entire week. We know when thunder showers are going to be coming. So we do get, as humans, we have the knowledge to know when these situations are going to be coming so we can be prepared for them. And that's all part of it. One thing that helps eliminate stress is being prepared. When you know a situation's coming, if you're prepared for it, you can relax that stress quite a bit. So one of the best things that I like to do is the day before or maybe earlier in the day, if you know that there's going to be fireworks or there's going to be thunder and lightning, I like to do a couple things. One, I have Kongs or bone marrows that I like to put some treats in. You can top it off with some natural peanut butter. Make sure it's natural peanut butter, 100% natural peanut butter, peanuts and oil. Skippy Natural is great. That's what I use. And what we do is I like to fill the bone with a bunch of treats inside, some of their favorite treats, coat the outsides a little bit with some peanut butter, and you can put that in your freezer and you freeze it up. Another good thing too is if you're at the grocery store and you're in the meat aisle, you can also find fresh bone marrow. That's something that dogs love very much and helps distract them. Those two things are things that it's good to have on hand. I'm one that I like to keep one in the freezer all the time anyway. So the next thing that we're going to do is we know whenever there's going to be fireworks, say it's the 4th of July or a special holiday where there's fireworks, we do know that, just before it dark is when they're going to start going off, or at dusk or dark. We also have a good idea with the way the weathermen are, that we have a good idea at what time a thunder shower is going to roll in. So one of the best things to do for your dog is to get them outside. Go for a nice long walk. Take them for a longer walk than you would normally do. Take them for a run if you can do a run. Put some weight on them or something like that. Maybe a little basket or something, or have them tow something. Something to tire them out a little bit more than you would normally. You can bring them outside and have a nice big long play session. What this will do is this will help tire them out. And when you have a dog that's tired, they tend to behave a little bit in a calmer sense. So that's another good step. So once you've done this, once you've come inside and you're ready to settle down a little bit, close all the windows. Make sure all your windows are closed. That the house is nice and tight. Try to keep that sound outside as much as possible. And you can turn a TV or a radio on and turn up that volume a little bit longer. Some calming music would be good. You could turn on a dog show, something like that would help draw your dog's attention. So those are a couple of good things that help as well. And so just before the fireworks or the thunder shower comes, you know when they're going to start to roll fireworks. You hear one or two pop off first, and same thing with thunder and lightning. You hear it coming rolling in first. So what you want to do is just before this starts happening is put them in a safe spot that they feel comfortable in, whether it's their bed, whether it's a crate that if they enjoy their crate, in their crate, whether it's next to you on a couch, somewhere that they will feel secure and comfortable. And so comfortable is one of the first things that you want to pay attention to as the storm rolls in or as the fireworks started. And at this point, just before, when you settle them down and you get them down, that's when you want to go get the treat that you have sitting in the freezer that should be frozen by now, or the fresh bone marrow, and give them something to direct their attention to something else. If they're focused on something like a bone or a treat, they're less liable to pay attention to what's going on outside of the world, and this will help them in the long run too. So when the fireworks start and the thunder shower starts and you find that they're in the right behavior, they're staying relaxed and they're staying calm, one of the mistakes that we make is we don't reward our dogs in times that are rewarding, like a dog remaining calm when they normally wouldn't be calm. And this is a good time to let them know that they're being good. This is the behavior you're looking for. And by saying good boy or good girl or going up and giving them your attention, lets the dog, it reinforces that behavior that the dog is performing well, and that's what you're looking for. So make sure you do that. Make sure you reward them, as they're in a good behavior, instead of having to try to get them out of a bad behavior. So that you can help them by, again, saying good boy, good girl, give them a little bit of your attention. And you can also, during this time too, you can also introduce a play session if you want, help them again. It's about distraction. That's what this is all about. At this point, you're looking to distract their attention. If you're sitting there, it's a lot easier to listen to the thunder and lightning going on or the fireworks going off outside. But if you have their attention, they're going to be focused on you. So you can distract them as well by having a play session. And if they're in their crate or in their bed and they're performing well and they're remaining calm, feel free, invite them up and let them snuggle with you. That's another good way of reinforcing a good behavior, or also giving them a reward they may not normally get. So that's what happens. That's what you would do when they stay and remain calm. Um, Say they go into fear. Say the fireworks starting going, the fireworks going off, and you didn't catch the early stages, and you didn't get them in a situation where they're staying calm, and they go into a fear. Um, Now what we need to do is try to distract them even more and pull them out of that state of fear or stress and put them into a relaxed body posture. And by doing that, what you need to do sometimes, very common for dogs to go and hide in, say, the bathroom or something like that. So what we want to do is we want to draw them out of that place, because a lot of times, they'll go and hide in a spot they don't typically hang out in. And so what we want to do is we want to get them out of that spot. And the reason is because they're associating a bad time with that spot. So sometimes it might be the bathroom or an area that they don't typically sit in. And it's because they just associate that spot with bad times. And so what we want to do is pull them out of that. And we can do that by putting a leash on them, maybe try to help draw them out a little bit with a treat. And again, you want to up this treat. You want to make this treat something, not a treat they get every day, something super special, something that's going to just make all things go behind them, because look what I got, something in front of them that's more rewarding than sitting in a fearful spot. So we can help them by distracting them with something really good that they love, that they don't get very often. And once you get them out of that spot, you can help comfort them multiple different ways. There is a product called a Thunder Shirt. You can buy at your pet stores. They do work, not for every dog, but they do work. I've had dogs that you put the Thunder Shirt on and it helps them relax, but like I said, it doesn't work on all dogs. If you don't have a Thunder Shirt, you can do it easily with a blanket too. Wrap the blanket. Now, how this works actually is, what we're doing is we're actually pressuring their stomach. And it's been believed that when a dog has its stomach and pressure on its stomach, it actually brings them back to a moment in time when they were in their mother's womb and they were safe. And so with that pressure around their stomach, it helps relieve some of their nerves. It also brings them back to a time when that pressure around their stomach brings them back to a time where they felt safe in their mother's stomach. So that's another way that you can use a blanket or a thunder jacket to help them feel a little more comfortable, help them relax a little bit. And, again, or if you're going to bring them by you, a nice blanket or hold around their stomach is pressure around the stomach is kind of the key that we're looking for. There's other things that we can do too, like using calming agents. I'm one that I make a peppermint oil. And if you're interested in peppermint oil, feel free, drop me a comment down below or contact me in another way. And what I like to do is you can put the peppermint oil the same, on their leash, on their collar. You can spray it on themselves, spray it around their, for instance, if your dog likes to be in a crate, you can spray it inside the crate. And what the peppermint does is actually helps to relax those nerves. It helps relax the the nervous system and helps your dog stay a little bit at calm. They do have other stuff that you can buy at the dog store, which I think is called comforting spray. These are other things that you can use. That's a calming agent that helps them stay relaxed. So those are the tricks that you can use to help your dog cope with the situation, whether they, setting your dog up properly, getting your dog in a proper situation and distracting them prior to the incident happening, and what to do if your dog goes into fear or stress and you need to draw them out. And so sometimes, again, these are the steps that we take for that. So the best thing though is, once you get past this day of fireworks or this week of fireworks or thunder showers or whatever, is we need to train our dogs to cope with this problem. We're going to see more fireworks in their future. They're going to hear more thunder showers in their future. So as owners, it's our responsibility to help train our dogs. And this isn't training as far as, sit and stay. What we need to do is we need to do a process called desensitizing. And what we're going to do is we're going to expose them to these sounds over and over and over again to a point where they mean nothing to the animal. So if your dog is scared of anything in this means, whether it's thunder, whether it's lightning, whether it's trucks, the idea of beating this and helping them cope is to desensitize. And how do we do that? We flood them with the sound. We flood them with everything, but we've got to do it in a way that is proper, and we got to do it in a way that we are creating success. And by means of success, I mean as the sound is happening, they're in a calm state. So what we need, one of the best things to do, and I'm going to use fireworks for instance, is put your dog in the same situation that I explained. Do the dog treat, and put them in the situation that I was explaining to you about. Taking them for a long walk and putting them in a comfortable spot. And then what you can do is you can find videos on YouTube, whether it's thunder, whether it's fireworks, and what you can do is you can turn that video on. And turn that video on in a low volume that it's not bothering them. You're going to want to find a volume where they're not bothered by this sound. And what we're going to do is we're going to let that run for some time. And then you're going to increase that volume. And as they're remaining calm and the sound is going off and the fireworks are going off, you can at this point reward your dog, whether it's with treats, whether it's attention. Again, the idea is to give your dog positive attachment to these sounds. So if your dog hears this sound again, that way it's going to say, the last time I went to my crate and I got a lot of treats. And so it makes it so they actually start to enjoy the sound. And so what you want to do is you want to play that video on low volume and then set your dog up again and do it again and increase the volume more and more and more and more. And we're going to increase the volume, and we're going to increase the time that we play this each time you do this. So every day, you're going to start one day, you're going to do it low volume, short period of time, and do it while your dog is in a calm state. If your dog goes into stress, you want to shut it down. Pay attention to how long or how low that you were running it. And then the next time you need to bring it down a level. If your dog remains calm, then you can increase that level. Increase the volume, and you can increase the time that you are playing it. And again, reward, reward, reward. Make this a positive situation for your dog. The more positive it is for them, the more they're going to enjoy the sound. So again, make sure you reward with calm and good behavior and reward that. Another thing that I think I've come across is I actually live only a very short distance from a gun club. Now, sometimes what I'll do with a new dog or a puppy or if I do find somebody that does, if somebody brings me their dog that does have problems with thunder or lightning or fireworks, and say we're not going to have thunder or fireworks coming up, I actually bring my dogs right down to the gun club, and I just pull into the parking lot, and I sit and park in the way back corner, and I do the same thing, but I use the guns. The sound of guns going off is going to give your dog the same idea. And again, what we're going to do is distract. And when they're in a good behavior, we're going to reward. Whenever, say, a gun goes off and the dog remains calm, we're going to reward them. And we're going to do things that way again, and reward that calm behavior. Now, you got to just keep repeating this until your dog is successful 9 out of 10 times. And when you get to this point, you probably know that, okay, we're doing pretty good and my dog knows to cope with this. So those are the tricks of the trade. That's how I like to deal with thunder and lightning or fireworks. I hope this video was very informative to you people. I hope this is something that you pass along to your furry friends. I hope you guys all like this video. If so, please do me a favor, hit that like button down below. If you're new to my channel, feel free, hit that subscribe button. Don't miss another video. We got more coming along. We do a lot of Bynature on this channel. So there's going to be a lot of videos coming of whether it's growing, herbs and vegetables, proper diets for beating ailments, dog behavior, natural foods and treats for your dogs, and things like that. So feel free, hit that subscribe button down below, and don't miss another video. And until the next video, people, be beautiful, be awesome.